see that right here, but what you do see is this minus equals thing. So let's go explain that. Here, and that's this operate and assign thing. Okay, so operate and assign basically updates the value first and, computes a value and then assigns to it. So I should actually just give you the desugaring of these. A times equals 2 means A equals A times 2. That's what it means. So A divided by equal 3 means A equals A divided by 3. Okay. What does this one mean? Can anyone tell me? What does A plus equals 2 mean? A equals A plus 2. That's right. So in other words, increase it by 2. A minus equals 2 is A equals A minus 2. So this is just a shorthand way, so you don't have to write A again. And it's clear that you're modifying it by a certain amount and assigning it. So these are, they can be called operate and assign, assign components. Now, because you can use these without values, you can use it here. So you could have A pointing plus plus. So what does this mean? Can anyone tell me what that means? Or to make it simpler, imagine if this was A of 0 plus plus. What would that mean? What is that doing? Yeah, exactly. So like if this were just by itself as a statement, the only thing this does of meaning is it increases the 0th element of A. In other words, the first element of A, of the A array. But if it were part of a bigger thing, like if you said A, I'll just put it on the board, if you were to say A of 0 plus plus greater than C or something like that, or D, what this would be doing is it would say, okay, give me whatever value is there initially, and then it will, meanwhile, update it and we'll say, okay, but is that original value greater than B or not? That will set the result. So this is a way of kind of doing two things at once, in a way. You're sort of getting the value, remembering it, and updating it in the meantime and testing. Generally speaking, it's dangerous to use these as part of an expression because it's very easy to forget that this is being updated, or you can imagine accidentally repeating it twice and having sort of, plus plus on two separate subcomponents of it. It depends on, like if you had this, this C or this thing, actually whether or not this is even evaluated and therefore changed depends on whether or not C is true. If C is true, it won't even evaluate this. If C is false, then it's going to say, okay, well I know this is false, so let's see if this is true or not. And then it will evaluate it. And so you got to be really careful with this. I view this as bad style, basically to have this inside an expression. And you might argue, like the one place I do feel comfortable using it is something like in a statement by itself, just something like that. Now here, it's clear we're saying, okay, increment by 1, the first element of A, and it's a little bit less kind of wordy or sort of textually confusing than writing. Because with this, you kind of got to look at more pieces of it. Okay, this is the same as that guy, so we're increasing it by 1. This is a little bit more succinct, saying increase by 1. But if you have it like this, it doesn't matter if this is here or if this is here. It doesn't matter because you're not relying on the value returned. All you're doing is you're increasing it by 1, right? So in general, I would urge you to avoid these things, and even if you see them in AnyLogic code, don't let it corrupt you. Believe me, you will see things there that will turn software engineering professors curl his hair. Okay, so here, what is this guy doing here? Who can tell me? What's that second expression doing there? this is a method. This is a method call. So you're absolutely right. It's getting its connected. It's getting its yeah, or third if you kind of 0, 1, 2. It's kind of the third one to which it's connected, and it's income by 2, right? It's doubling its income.
Wait, so this is it's getting these ones.
Right, and in fact, so if this is P, it's getting so P has several neighbors. We could think of kind of it having, maybe the best way to think of it is P has several neighbors, right? And it's getting its third neighbor, and it's doubling, and so that's a reference to somebody, right? Its third neighbor is somebody. This is returning a reference to who knows who. Who would like to be who that third person is? Have their income double? I hope it's me. Hope it's me. So maybe this is referring to me. This is my lucky day, and then it's doubling my income. So here's P. It's getting its third neighbor, and that's some person, somebody, and it's taking its income, and it's going from one number to another number, right? To twice that number. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna have to finish up with some comments and assignment of references. Okay. So this is a very important concept. Suppose we have. So I told you, variables hold values. All this stuff about L values is just to help you understand that you can do things like this. You can have an expression that's quite complex and then change it out here, right? So don't get too caught up in L values. The critical thing, though, is that variables can hold values, and the values can be references. They can be references, okay? And folks, you can have this type of expression here,